Move closer to the mic.
Okay,
Sometimes you're
yeah.
getting cut. Eh.
Okay.
What's up, Mike?
What's up? What's up?
What's
Thanks
up?
for having me.
You kidding me? I've been bugging you for a long time. Ladies and gentlemen, I have Mike Abad here live on the Paco Arespacochaga podcast at Live at Paco's Place.
Hi, everybody. Hello, world. Good to be here. Thanks for inviting me.
Well, first of all, you're late.
Fashionably late.
Second, I'm glad that you can make it because you and I have a lot to talk about every time we're on the phone. It's not just drum talk. We go all over the spectrum.
Right. What?
To our listeners and viewers, you tell them about yourself.
Well, I play drums for a new wave alternative band called New Day in August. We've released a couple of EPs over a span of a few years. Both EPs are on YouTube. They're on Spotify. They're on iTunes. And then it's funny because you and I met a few years back at a Battle of the Bands in Silver Lake.
In Silver Lake, yeah.
Oh, you remember. You remember. Yeah.
Perfectly.
Yeah. And I think we won that Battle of the Bands. I wonder why.
And then me and my son Heaven, we got the CD, and since then we've been fans of New Day in
Yes,
August.
that's right. I gave you a copy of the CD,
Yes.
and the rest is history, right? I want to say though, this setup you have here is wow, is amazing. I know that you and I talked about this some time back.
It wasn't even born. Remember?
Yes. In the dreaming up stage.
Yes.
And that you wanted something of your own, that can allow you the chance to talk to people that you find interesting, and at the same time, cater to your musical preferences. Also, give bands an opportunity to showcase their talents, show their original compositions, and then maybe even perform them live. Right?
And that's why it was important for me to have you here. Like, my first guest was Janelle. Of course, my wife, we dreamt it together.
Yes.
And then see JJ Buencamino,
Yes.
who's our technical director behind the camera. I mean, because he helped build the studio.
Correct.
And then you would be my sounding board, remember?
Yes. 5-minute conversations became 30 minutes, became 45 minutes, became an hour before you know it.
Yes.
We're just coming up with ideas and what how the show would look like. Right?
And we're both fans of Joe Rogan and all that stuff. And when I told you, it's going to be something like this, like that, with this and that, you're like, oh, wow. And I was like, will you co-host the podcast with me? And you keep saying yes. There's that word. You keep saying yes.
Emphasis on keep, right.
And now you have the nerve to ask me, what episode are we in? Yes, sir. I mean, now episode 10. O anong gagawin mo ngayon? It took you 10 episodes, 10. Right?
Still in the first 10, right?
Right.
Matches 10 of another kind. Right?
So, which is, at the time of this taping, is celebrating 30 years.
Imagine that.
So what have you been up to, especially with New Day in August? What have you guys been up to?
So we just participated in another Battle of the Bands benefit gig.
But you guys didn't join the Battle of the Bands, right?
We did.
You did?
Yes.
And you guys won again?
And we won again, yeah. So 2 for 2 sa mga Battle of the Bands.
What the heck? Are your songs on the streaming platforms?
Yes, they're on Spotify. I think they're on Pandora. You can download them from iTunes, Google Play.
So you type in NDIA or New Day in August?
Or New Day in August.
New Day in August. What songs would you recommend they listen to?
3
songs.
3 songs? Oh my gosh. Oh, there's so many. No. Probably Jane's song, which I think is one of the
Why? Why would
songs.
If they listen to Jane's song, what should they listen out for? And the reason why I'm sharing this, because so that we're opening their reticular, Naks naman, may reticular pa yun. We're opening their reticular so that they can focus. Oh, this is what Mike Abad has been talking about. Okay, so what?
Well, for me as a drummer, it was my tribute to New Order, one of my favorite bands. The drummer Stephen Morris was a huge influence in how I played. He was known as the human drum machine.
Wow.
For his ability to play the drums in a way that it sounded like a drum machine, but then it's actually him.
Real drums,
playing,
yeah.
His style was more on repetitive patterns, nothing fancy.
Just keep the
Serving
groove.
the song.
Yes.
Groove. So the drumming there was patterned after Stephen Morris and one of my other idols, Boris Williams of The Cure, another guy who serves the song. Plays.
Is Boris Williams still with The Cure up to now?
Not anymore.
I saw him. I have him on.
20 years.
I know. I have him on Modern Drummer.
Yes. So patterned it up after him as well, where he doesn't do a lot of fills, unless it's absolutely necessary. So he's not a showy kind of drummer.
Right.
I remember Richie and I were.
Richie is who?
Richie's the singer for the band, the guitar player, and the primary songwriter
For New Day in August.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we started out as a riff, jammed it for a few minutes, and then basically came up with the pattern in about an hour or two. Yeah.
For this, so that's the first song.
Yeah.
So what's the title of the song again?
It's called Jane's Song.
Jane's Song. What's the second song?
That was from the second EP. The second one would be your favorite, Looking Back.
Looking Back. I thought that was the first song, but that's fine. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Why would you recommend Looking Back?
I think that song captured how it was like when we were all growing up, right? Finding your first love, right?
Uh-huh.
Enjoying special moments with your first love, and then realizing later on that maybe that person was not meant to be, right? But then still reminiscing and recollecting the memories of how it was when you had your first love.
Ako naman, the reason why I like Looking Back is without even knowing what the lyrics were, when I first heard it, it was so anthemic.
Yes.
It makes that's my number one, but that's his number one. So that's his number two. So that's fine. But if you listen to that track, I mean, talagang mapapaheadbang ka eh.
Yeah, I remember during the Battle of the Bands. I think that's what got you. Oh, wait,
yes.
What is this? Right?
Yes. So how about the third song?
The third song would be
The rest of the songs. No, just kidding.
Yeah, the rest of the two EPs. Man, I think it would be the song that we usually play last. It's called "It's Over."
Why? Because it's the last song, kaya it's over?
Usually the last song, and then everybody just goes nuts at the end.
Is it a fast song?
It is.
Okay.
Yeah. And for some reason, it's a good closer for a set. And I think that's what got us the second Battle of the Bands award when we played last on the 13th.
How long have you been together as a band?
Oh, wow. Started off in 2003 as a three-piece.
Who were the first three members?
Just me, Richie Del Rosario,
singer,
singer and guitars, and Rex Aglibor on bass.
Oh, on bass.
Occasional
Okay.
guitars. And then I think 2 years later, Don Morales, the bass player, and Tolitz Russell, the keyboard player, joined, and then we became a five-piece. And fun fact, the name New Day in August came about because all of us were born in August.
Oh.
Except for Tolitz, who was born, I think, July 31.
July. So
But
hindi
then, but then in
the Philippines.
In the Philippines, it was
August. Kaya honorary member lang si Tolitz.
Yes.
So 2003.
Yeah.
Now, when you started this band, was the idea to pursue this as a career or just a side project for you guys?
Oh, it was just to have fun. It was funny because I met Rex because he was installing the wireless network at my uncle's house. I lived with my uncle for a few years when I first moved to the States. And then I found out we studied in the same high school.
Which was?
Don Bosco Makati.
Oh, shout out, Don
shout
Bosco.
Out to all Bosconians listening, all Bosconians around the world. And then we both listened to music. And then he said, "Well, swing by the house one of these days. Let's jam." And then he invited Richie over. I remember it was
So he was friends with Richie.
Yes, he was friends already with Richie.
So you were the new guy.
I was the new guy. Yeah.
Okay.
And we just started jamming tunes from the 90s and the 80s, whatever came up from in our heads. We'd play it, and then there was instant chemistry. And you know how it is with bands and chemistry.
Yeah.
Once the magic is there, it's like, oh wow, I think we got something here. And then jam sessions turned to opportunities to play live in the scene in LA. I think the first gig was as a 3-piece was in Tribal Cafe.
Oh yeah, in LA. We played Tribal Cafe.
And I think it's still there. It's under new management. Yeah.
Oh well, hindi na kina Janine. It's not.
I don't think so. Yeah,
okay.
Yeah. And then through gigs within the scene, that's when we bumped into Tolitz and Don. And then we found out Don lived in San Fernando Valley, same as me. And then we just connected. Found out that we all had common interests with the music, with music. Although Rex was more of a metal guy, I think Richie was more into the 90s. And Don was everything. Same with Tolitz. But we all gravitated around music from The Cure, from New Order, from U2, basically the 80s.
Right.
And then that's when we started focusing on creating music of our own influence.
So who introduced Don and Tolitz to the band?
Oh, we just bumped into them through gigs.
Really?
Yeah.
So you were actually performing as a 3-piece.
Yes.
And Tolitz and Don were in a different...
They were in another band.
And you pirated them.
Yeah.
Salbahe kayo. That's so mean. Yeah. Anyway.
And then before you know it, we started playing gigs around LA. One gig led to another.
And this was back when?
2005, 2007.
And you came here 2003?
2003.
Single or married when you came here?
Married now, yeah.
With kids?
With kids. Yeah.
Why did you migrate?
To pursue my master's degree.
So you had the intention of going back home?
The intent was to go home, yeah, and use that master's degree for possible better employment opportunities. But
this is what's nice about these podcasts. We get nuggets of
information that
of
you
course,
didn't know.
Of course. Okay, I want to hear that. I'm pretty sure the listeners will want to hear that in case they're thinking, hint, of going to the States to take their master's degree.
Yeah, it's possible.
And migrate.
Yeah.
Okay, tell us about that. So, Philippines 2002. You and your wife. Tell them the name of your wife.
My wife's name is Ives. We've been married what? 20 years now.
Wow.
Yeah.
Going on silver, huh?
Yeah.
In 5 more years.
In 5 more years, yeah.
Okay, so kayo ni Ives, in 2002, how did you tell her we're going to the States?
It started out as a discussion with friends of my mom, because I was looking at pursuing my master's degree.
Yeah, speak closer to the mic.
Yeah. Oh, sorry. And then I was looking at schools
in the Philippines.
And this was a very random conversation with my mom's friends, and then one of them brought up the idea, hey, if you're gonna take your master's, why not consider see if you can do it in the U.S. So that seed was planted, I think, in 2001 or 2002.
How old were the kids in 2002?
We only had one kid at that time.
Oh,
so Sophie, yeah.
Sophie was...
Yeah. So she was like 3 years old.
Okay, and what was Ives doing? What was her work?
She was a manager a human resources manager for a German pharmaceutical company.
And you were?
I was an account manager for a beverage, food and packaging company.
So in German pharmaceutical, parang tunog Pfizer yun ah.
Boehringer Ingelheim.
Boehringer Ingelheim.
Yes.
There you go.
See? Yes.
And then, okay, so you, one of your mom's friends told you to consider taking your master's in the States.
Yes.
And she gave you the advice one-on-one.
Yeah, basically.
So you had to tell your wife.
Yeah.
And your wife was doing good at work.
Oh, yeah.
So
it was a sacrifice.
Okay, now I'm listening. How do you pop that question? How do you burst someone else's bubble and tell them, look, sell it to me. How? Let's pretend I'm Ives. Sell it to me.
Well, I'd say there's an opportunity for me to
Selfish. What about me?
to pursue studies abroad, and I'm doing this not for myself, but for you and and the kids, because the kids I think will have a better future if we bring them elsewhere.
So wait, when you left the Philippines, you had no plans of coming back.
There were plans of coming back.
Just plans.
Yeah.
But you weren't telling everybody that you had intents of staying.
It was more of if there was an opportunity to stay here permanently, why not?
Did you tell her that?
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, good.
Yeah, I think I did. I think I still have. I still have to be here on another podcast to validate whatever I'm saying.
Okay. Or she could put a comment when she watches your podcast.
Oh, not true.
Not true.
Yeah,
At a timeline, 17 minutes.
Correct,
not true.
Correct. According to my diary. Right.
Okay, so there you go. Now, where did you file your papers? For student
visa?
Or you flew as a tourist, like Glenn Jacinto?
No, there was a chance to visit family here in the States. So I used that opportunity to look at schools. So I looked at schools in Los Angeles.
So in other words, you came here on a tourist visa.
Yeah. And then I came.
You went back.
Yeah.
You went. Oh wow.
Yeah. So once I saw some schools here that I wanted to apply for, went back home, took the GMAT review and exams, and then submitted my applications.
What was your course in the Philippines, ba?
Business management.
Where do you go to school for that?
LaSalle.
Taft.
Yes.
Kaya naman pala, we're kindred spirits. See, some people are perfect.
Yes. but then it was there really was no grand plan. I mean, the plan was just go to the U.S., pursue my degree. Let's see where it takes us, right? If there's a chance to stay here, why not? If not, we can always go back and do the U.S. master's degree. It can open more doors.
So, so I've looked at you and said, okay, let's do this. Now, wow. So you went to the States, came back.
Yeah.
Now you guys are ready to pack and leave.
Yeah.
Right? You filed your papers in the Philippines for F1.
Yeah.
So when that came out, like when did you start realizing, oh my God, this is it? Yeah.
Once I got the student visas from the embassy.
So F1 for you, F2 for Sophie and for Ives.
Yeah. And at that time she was pregnant with Joaquin.
Oh.
So another funny story.
Oh, tell us. We want to know.
Yeah. So when she was being interviewed at the U.S. Embassy for the student visa, she was already
6,
7 months.
Kasi 7, 8 months, hindi ka na pwedeng lumipad, right?
Yeah. So the first question from the immigration officer was, "Are you going to give birth? Are you going to give birth in the U.S.?" And she said, "No."
Liar.
Yeah. And she did not.
Really?
She did not. She didn't want to.
What?
Yeah. Yes.
What?
Yes. So both my kids were born in Manila.
Oh
and
my
God. I had to fly to the U.S. first and leave them behind for a few months until she was able to give birth. And once baby Jam was comfortable, they joined me here in the States.
Wow.
Which was another funny story because at first the immigration officer didn't believe her, right?
Yeah. Of course.
Who
right
wouldn't
now,
take advantage of that opportunity, right? But she still gave the visa, right? So she had to go back to the embassy after my son was born for him to get his F2 visa.
Right.
So when the immigration officer saw the papers and saw the history, she was like, "May I take your picture?" Right? So she was wondering, "Do you need a picture for a visa?" No, because you're the first person I've seen who who said that they weren't going to give birth in the States
and actually followed through with it.
Actually followed through with it. Yeah.
Oh, galing naman. Nakakatuwa naman, no? So that's why when you met Rex, it was just you.
It was just me.
Kita mo naman, ha? Napagdikit ko.
Yeah. So if it weren't for the chance to
if Ives decided to give birth here, no new day in August.
No new day in August. If I decided to go to another school outside of LA,
no new day in August.
No new day in August. If Rex said no to the opportunity to set up my uncle's Wi-Fi connection.
No
in
New
his
Day in
place.
August. Did this setup happen in August?
It did. No. The first jam session happened in August. Now that I'm thinking about it, you're right. It happened in August, yeah.
Oh my God.
The first jam session was at Rex's place. And he set it up because he knew it was my birthday as well. And then he said it was Richie's birthday. Well, let's just go and come up with let's just go have a party. And then, yeah, that's
so
how we
Ives was in the Philippines taking care of baby Joaquin.
Yeah.
You were jamming here. Sophie was in the Philippines also.
They were all
2 kids. Okay, all there.
And then there was a time
so
when
buhay binata ka, in other words.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Buhay single, but not buhay.
Okay.
None of the perks.
Okay, buhay single.
Yeah.
And then, how long from the time that you were here did you have to go back to pick them up? Was it a year?
They joined me here because I flew in January.
Flew in where? Flew into the States?
Yes.
Okay.
I flew in here from Manila.
January 2003.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then a few days later, Joaquin was born. So
you weren't there?
I was here. I didn't. Yeah. He was born in Manila. I was here.
Okay.
And then they joined me in sometime April or May of 2000.
So you flew back to pick them up?
They just flew in.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. One of my uncles accompanied them to LA.
Okay. So during that time, and the reason why I'm talking to you about this is because this is not an isolated case. There are families thinking of migrating the whole family to the States, right? And I guess I'm trying to paint the picture that if people think it's easy,
it's not.
Thank you.
It's not.
So January, you were at your uncle's house. When they came, were you still at your uncle's house or did you have... Okay.
Yeah.
So everybody stayed at your uncle's house?
Yes. Until we were able to find a place of our own.
How long was that? From April to how long?
I think 3 or 4 months.
Wow.
Oh, no. I stand corrected because they stayed with me for a few months and then they flew to Virginia to be with Ives' mom. So they stayed. So while we were all in the States, I was still in LA and then they were in Virginia.
Okay.
So that, so that my mother-in-law would be able to take care of Jam.
Yeah.
Right?
So Jam's there, Ives there, Sophie's there.
I'm still here.
You're in LA.
Yeah.
Give you
my master's degree.
Master's degree in New Day in August.
Yep. And New Day in August would just jam on occasion, right? This was...
You're saying that on the record on occasion.
Yeah, on occasion.
Because your wife can hear us, right?
Yeah. But secretly practicing. No, but then it just all started for fun. All started as a stress release and a chance to just play songs that we wanted to play.
Now, while your wife was taking care of a newborn baby, you were in a band when supposedly you were here to take up your master's degree.
Which I was.
Which you were.
Which I was.
Did it cause any friction with you and your wife? Again, a lot of people are in that situation. So how did you deal with that kind of scenario?
Just constant communications and
was she always okay with this or feeling more okay?
She was very hesitant.
There you go. I want to hear that.
Because, she was very hesitant because she had a good opportunity with the company that she was in at the moment, and that required her to give that up and uproot everything, uproot the family and move here. And then we just started from ground zero. We just started from scratch.
Wow.
Yeah. When I first moved in here, I slept on a sleeping bag at the floor of my uncle's house. That's how I started, with my balikbayan box of clothes. That's how I started.
Wow. Let's go back to the whole scenario. Your wife was doing well at this German pharmaceutical company.
Yes.
You suddenly disturbed her comfort zone, took her out of her comfort zone by bringing her to the States.
Yes.
You left a few days before giving birth.
Yes.
And your excuse is to go to the States to take your master's. And then she finds out that you actually formed a band.
Yep. Pretty much.
Wow. Idol. And so when was the first time she found out about the band thing?
Oh, when we were dating, she knew already.
No.
That I played music.
Ndia.
Oh,
New Day in
NDA.
August.
Again, this was just it was a series of events that eventually led to what we're doing
Because
right
in
now.
2003, you guys were either doing the phone card thing
Yes.
or the email thing or...
Phone card and email.
Right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So
and you got to reload or get a new card.
yes.
Yep.
So explain to me how you had to explain that to her.
Oh, well again, it helped that she knew.
Postpartum to.
Yeah. She knew even when we were still dating that, I love playing music. I love listening to music.
So she was okay.
She was okay. Yeah. And kudos to her because she also realized, I hope that she also realized that it was also my way of decompressing.
Yeah.
And,
Yes. O nga naman, masters yun. Yeah.
Because you study 4 or 5 days a week, and then if there's an opportunity to hang out with your friends,
Why not?
why not? Of which I didn't really had a lot of friends when we first moved in here.
So she's in Virginia.
Yep.
You know the thing, Mike, when the woman says, yeah, it's okay, and it's really not
it's
okay.
really not. Yeah.
How? So, yeah, I'm just going to hang out with my mom in Virginia while you do your thing.
Yes.
And that's what you said?
Yeah. But, we knew we were thinking of things long term, right? We were thinking of things long term.
Wait, when you say we were thinking of things long term, you and your boys at New Day in August, or you and your wife?
No. It was because once I started getting assimilated with how things are here in the States, right? You do things on your own.
Yeah.
Right? Akang katulong to help you with stuff. You do your own chores, fix your own bed, fold your own clothes, do your own laundry. I got comfortable with it, and then I learned to be independent pretty quickly, right? And then I realized, hey, you know what? I think I can do it here. And then I felt I was doing well in school, which then made me think that maybe there is a shot, right? There is a chance to move here permanently, right? But needed her buy-in with that as well, right?
So now, when you came to the States, did she know you guys were not coming back?
Maybe that's a question for her. No, but again, the door was always open. There was a plan B, right? That if things didn't work out, we can always go back. But
so if things didn't work out, you can always go back.
We can always go back with the MBA degree in my pocket.
But at the back of your mind, you're like, shoot, this has to work out.
Yes.
Because you don't want to go back.
Yeah. Yes. Partly because I'm somebody that thinks that if there's a plan B, tendency is you work towards the plan B instead of the plan A.
High five.
So I said, okay, there is no plan B.
Because we
gotta make it work. Yeah.
Like sa Lasal, if I may share, yan si Jonathan graduate yan sa Lasal, si JJ graduate yan sa Lasal. Ako naglasal, but I did not graduate.
Okay.
Because I figured out if there was a plan B, there would not be an intro voice.
Yes. Funny how things, work out eventually.
I had to take that risk, and my mom said, well, I guess that's what you're going to have to do because you don't want to go to school anymore.
Correct.
I actually got kicked out of De La Salle University.
Okay.
So,
but you got your diploma.
Afterwards, because of intro voice.
Oh.
But, I mean...
Interesting.
Very interesting.
Yeah. And I guess that's how life is, right?
Yeah.
It's not a straight line.
Nope.
There are detours.
Yep.
But if you have a game plan in mind, right, and you stick with it, with it, eventually that detour, you get back on track and you get to your destination.
But it's not.
That's what I learned. Yeah.
But it's not about me. It's about you. So let's go back to you. Diversion, huh?
Yes.
Okay. So now how many years did you do your master's?
2.5 years.
And where was the
finished it in 2.5
family?
years.
Where was the family within 2.5 years?
So there was a chance for us to all be together under one roof in the middle of my studies. So they were able to fly back from Virginia to LA, and then
So they were here in April. When they came here,
spent about a year in Virginia. Yeah.
so here muna, say hi to your uncle, and then
Yes.
left for Virginia
left
to
for
stay with your
Virginia.
mother-in-law.
Yes.
A year there.
Yes.
Okay.
I'd fly for Thanksgiving and Christmas, right?
Here's the $1 million
There
question.
we go.
When was the first album of New Day in August?
Oh my gosh! Wait, let me think about this. It was 20.
Were they in Virginia?
Yeah. No, she was here already. Yeah. Woo. She was here already. The first EP was released, if I'm not mistaken, 2011. So we were all here.
You were here. Okay.
Yeah, and then we've settled in LA by then. And we made that decision that this is the place to be. Kids were in school already.
Oh, that's nice.
They have their circle of friends, right? So yeah, we decided dito.
What do you do now? What's your day job?
I work as a manager for a healthcare company, a large healthcare company.
Now, as a manager for a large healthcare company, are you still able to do the whole band thing?
Yeah. It's just a matter of finding time.
Mm-hmm.
And we've shared this, right? Pag gusto, maraming paraan.
Pag ayaw, may dahilan.
May dahilan. So it's just a matter of finding the time. And if it's your passion, you'll find the time.
So, how do you balance your time between or among your work?
Yeah.
Because you're doing good at work, your band thing. Mind you guys, my listeners should know this. Tell them how many bands you have right now.
just two.
See,
Yeah.
2. Not even 1, guys. 2. All right? Natawa ka, no?
Oo nga, no?
So,
A lot of explaining to the wife. Yeah.
so there's your family life, your work life, and your 2 bands life. How do you balance that?
Oh, family has to come first.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. So I make time for the family, for the kids. My son plays basketball. He was part of a travel team as he was growing up. So weekends would be either watching his games or spending time with the family, and then just if there's an opportunity to jam with the band, record music, then we do that. But,
How do you say no to the band? Because conflicts do arise, right?
Yeah. Well, it was as we were doing the recording sessions, everybody agreed that the best way to do it is during the weekends.
Oh yeah.
Everybody has families as well, so everybody has their day jobs, and then we just figured, all right, the only way to make this work is to carve out some time during everybody's busy schedules, and that meant weekends, usually Sunday afternoon.
Okay.
So that way you still had Saturday for family and for gigs. You still had gigs.
So, if you were to choose 2,
Oh,
family,
yeah,
high paying day job,
yeah.
or being in a touring band that actually pays more than your day job.
Oh wow, that'll be tough. That'll be tough. Well, it'll be tough because it's the decision there will be between the high paying job and the touring opportunity.
Of course.
Family.
Of course.
I mean, I wouldn't be.
This is
here
hypothetical, but it
I
could
wouldn't-
happen.
Yeah, I wouldn't even be here right now if I've
Said no.
If it wasn't okay with us.
Yeah.
So having her support has always been a blessing to me, and I'm blessed.
But see, you're just here now.
Yeah.
Touring band that pays, let's say, hypothetically double what you're making annually right now.
Yeah.
How are you going to present that to your wife?
Oh, that'll be tough. with everything that we've gone through.
Yeah.
And then we're going to do this more frequently now.
Yeah.
Well,
remember, 20 years ago, you uprooted her from the Philippines, right?
Yeah, will I do this again, right?
That's basically my question. Are you?
Yeah.
So you're gonna say passing boys, thank you, but no thank you. Are you gonna do that with a high-paying touring band?
Well, if the high-paying touring band allows her to
of course,
focus more time with the family and kids, why not?
How are you going to say that?
I gotta
So
think about
selfish.
it. Oh yeah, I know. It's how you put a spin to it, right?
Yeah, let me hear that. Let me hear that spin. And the reason why I'm asking you, I've given myself that hypothetical.
Yeah.
I couldn't come up
You
with
couldn't come up with it.
No.
I would say, hey, there's an opportunity for us to make a decent living, right? We get to visit different parts of the country and maybe the world. I know you've always wanted to go to Europe. Here's our chance, right? And then it's a chance for you and I to travel around the world, maybe to get together.
And she'll go, what about the kids?
Yeah, we'll just bring them along.
Really?
Yeah. It's wild of us. It's wild of us. We ride together, we die together.
Wild of us. There you- So now, okay, let's go back to reality. How is life different here in the States? Raising a family in the States and raising a family in the Philippines.
Okay. Good question.
Because your mom and dad are still together.
Yeah.
You and Ives have been together 20 years.
Yeah.
Apparently,
We're the only ones here.
apparently your mom and dad did a very, very good job raising
Well, thank you. Thank you. Kudos to Lito and Dulce, my mom and dad.
So, how are you keeping everything together, and how are you instilling your values to your two kids?
Okay. I consider myself and I look up to people who lead by example, right? And not just people who just do all the talking but don't back it up with actions. And I feel that's the best way to teach your kids. It's not just through what you say, but also what you do, how you treat their mom, how you find the time to spend time with them, and allow them to pursue their interests, and also bring food on the table, right? So if you are able to keep the lines of communication open with your wife, I consider my wife my best friend.
Amen.
Yeah. Any challenges or problems or worries, we talk about it. Same thing with the kids, right? As long as they see that family always comes first.
Yes.
The others will just fall into place, right? Because they see that I've been providing, Ives and I have been providing for the kids, and the bonus for me is, all I ask for in return basically is just the opportunity to pursue a passion, right? Because music is more than a hobby for me.
Yes.
It's a passion. So. And once they understand that and they see through your actions, right? Oh, he's a good dad. I hope they see that, right? And that's why I'm allowed to venture into these into these passion projects, right? Because at the end of the day, right, if she says no, then
I know, right?
Yeah.
That situation too. If
Correct.
Janelle tomorrow says, shut it off,
Yeah.
I'm like, I would hesitantly shut this off.
Yeah.
But never.
But you'd still, yeah.
Like, I love my wife, and I really do. I mean, I envy people who've been in relationships longer, because I've had so many failed relationships. But I'm just glad that I learned from my mistakes. And this time around, as much as I love being in the band, I found someone who will never make me choose between being part of the band.
Will not put you in that situation.
And all she expects me to do, again, not hope, expects me to do is to put her first.
Yes. Always.
Diba?
Should always, yeah.
So now let's talk about your kids.
Okay.
I mean, no, let's talk about you as a dad.
Okay.
How has being in a band and being a person with a master's degree, how has that helped you raise kids? Or would you not take credit and give everything to your wife?
Oh yeah. I mean,
Tama, I saved you. I just saved you.
it's the wife. Yeah. Thanks. Kudos to wives. You should really have her here on this podcast. Yeah. Well, maybe episode 20 or something.
I'm enjoying this.
Yeah.
Huwag ka mag-alala, Mike. Next time you'll be my co-host. And we'll be grilling somebody else. But give me this opportunity to actually.
Yes. Well, being in a band is like it's also like
a relationship.
Like it's also like family.
Yeah.
Family. You'll have your squabbles and quarrels here and there.
Yes.
But once you have that chemistry, you tend to overlook all any other issues, and because it's rare that you have a group of guys na tinginan lang, alam mo na kung anong mga what songs to play, and even if you try to spend as much time to rehearse, but there never is enough time to do everything, but everybody when it's showtime, everybody delivers, right? And it's hard to find people within the confines of a band who approach things that way.
That's true.
You can take elements of that with how you raise your kids also, because the big difference is you can choose to be in a band.
Yes.
But you can't choose
to be in the family nucleus,
your family.
Yeah.
But you still need the nurturing. You still need I think you still need the leading by example, setting the right standards, right, and setting the right boundaries and expectations.
Galing, how it matches, right?
Yeah. And I learned in life that kids can be very observant, right?
Yes.
So you don't realize the things, the quirks or tendencies you have. They pick them up pretty fast.
Yes.
So it's really important that you lead by example, and you're aware of what you're doing when you're around them, especially during the formative years, because then they soak it up like a sponge.
So what's a typical day now? Because your eldest is, how old is she?
Sophie is now a junior in UC Irvine.
Oh my God, college na.
I know, time flies so fast.
And si Jam?
Jam is a junior in high school.
Wow.
So in another year, he's off to college na rin.
So you and Ives, wala nang plano to have another baby?
No. We're happy with
What if it happens?
No, I don't think it's. I hope it won't. Ives will be the first to say, "What? No." She'll throw a fit. Yeah.
So are you excited when the kids are out of the nest? Are you gonna downscale, or are you gonna?
No. It's the opposite. So, because of the holidays, with the holidays, we were the Wild Buds was complete again.
Yeah.
Right? Sophie was back from university. It's a good feeling to know that they're there. You don't necessarily have to talk to them, right? They may be on their phones, but as long as they're in the household,
Happy ka na?
Happy na ako. Ganun palang feeling na.
Yeah. Are you a strict dad?
No.
Does she have a boyfriend?
Yes.
Oh, I have a
Yes.
daughter. Okay, how? My daughter's 4 at the time of taping this podcast, and if I pick her up in school and she's talking to a boy, oh my God,
All these feelings. Right?
yes. So how
Things you can do with your hands.
how did you deal with it?
When Ives and I found out that she had a boyfriend already.
Was it past tense when you found out?
Oh yeah.
Oh.
I'm the last to know.
Oh.
I don't know why.
Oh.
I'm not that perceptive, I guess, when it comes to stuff like that. I can be pretty dense.
My God.
But when we found out, I guess a part of me was thrilled, right?
Are you serious?
Thrilled in the sense that I know what in a way I know what she's going through, right? Because we've been there.
No, you don't. She's a girl.
Well, relationships, right?
Okay, okay.
Having that first.
Wait, was she in high school when this happened?
Was she? Yeah, she was. She was. Yeah.
Okay, so tell me, how did you find out?
Oh no. Through Ives. Yeah.
Oh.
My wife found out, yeah. I don't recall the exact details as to how she.
What was your reaction?
And I just found out over the phone, and I was like, "Oh, okay."
That was it?
Yeah. Oh, okay. But then,
Did you sit her down?
oh yeah. So we've had conversations, father-daughter conversations, and I've always,
Is it painful?
in a way, yeah, because these were conversations that my folks were giving me. Now I'm giving it to them. It's
You're right,
like
yeah.
it's like a circle of life, right? It's a circle, right? You're gonna get there too.
I know.
Yeah, and what I've learned is you can never be ready for it. When it happens, it's just you just figure out how to deal with it. But if you speak your mind, right, and just let them be aware of the pros and cons of things.
So did you have to choose? Did you choose your words?
Oh yeah, I
Like,
had to. I had to
were
be
you
very
walking
careful.
on eggshells?
I was.
Oh my God.
I was. But I think those are moments where your sense of being a dad will just kick in. Yeah. And then you'll give words of wisdom where you didn't even realize that you were capable of providing that kind of knowledge. It'll just come naturally. Again, from experience.
Now, because of the path that you took, is it safe to say that you and your daughter are closer?
Oh yeah. I think so. Yeah.
Could have gone another way, right? Could have been
we could have been distant,
right
because of the physical distance when she was growing up. But I did try to make a point to spend time with them, despite everything, right? All the other duties and responsibilities that you have. Ives and I tried to make it a point that as they were growing up, they didn't feel neglected. Whatever they needed, we provided, and we tried to give them a happy childhood.
Did you spoil your kids?
I think I did. Yeah, within reason.
Okay,
Not
well, let me hear.
Not like the lolo and lola.
They did.
Oh, grabe yun. And it amuses me now how spoiled they are with lolo and lola. But then, maybe in a few years, I'm gonna experience that too. And such is life.
Wait, hold, time out. I'm still wrapping my head around the fact that you're okay with your daughter having a boyfriend, and now naiisip mo na in a few years you're gonna have.
Well, hopefully more years.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah,
now we're on the same.
Yeah.
Now we're on the same page.
Not soon.
Not soon.
Yeah, not
but
soon.
Like in a decade.
Yeah. No, I hope not.
Okay.
Well, wait. She's
like 23 ba? 23
now
ba?
that you say that, wow, within
Is she 23? No.
She's 20.
20.
Yeah.
Oh, in a 25.
Yeah, I know.
Oh my God, you ready for that?
No. Again, I think as a parent, you're not ready for this, right? But just like the transition to the States, you learn to grow up pretty quickly, right? I mean, I always thought that once you reach our age, you know everything by now, but it's
No, you don't. No,
you don't. You're still. I realize now that you're still learning.
You want to know what I felt when now that we're in a new decade, the first thing I did was I got on my knees. I actually prayed and thank God that I survived 2019.
Yeah.
But every year I do feel my mortality.
Yes.
Na parang, Lord, just give me more years.
Yes.
You know.
Yes. Think of it as a golf game where, we've hit we're close to the ninth hole, and then we're approaching the later holes, right? So
napaabutin sana tayo hanggang 18th hole.
Yes.
At kung may 19th hole, I'll take that hole as well. Di ba?
And maybe another country club, right?
Yes. So now that we've talked about this whole gamut of different facets of your life, how would you say your band fits in, and when I say band, not the other band, but New Day in August, because you have two, how does this fit in as Michael Abad per se? Because the next time I bring you over, we're going to talk about your frustrations about being in a band.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
Now this is just you. I'm just introducing you to our listeners.
Yeah.
Because you're very, I mean, you're very meek. But
Yes.
don't get me wrong. I mean, don't mistake meekness for weakness.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
But as your friend, I consider you my brother. I'm like, wow, Michael is one of the most chill people I've ever met. Kahit galit na
Thank you.
chill
Thank
pa
you.
rin.
Yeah. Yeah.
But you've got a good thing going with family. You've got a good thing going with work. And then sometimes the band becomes dysfunctional.
Mm-hmm.
How do you do it? And what advice can you give musicians out there who feel that they should quit because they're pointing fingers at different members of the band? What can you give them before we go?
Okay. Treat it like a family. Treat it like, you know, a band of brothers or sisters, right? And like a family, you will have your short bursts of quarrels, finger pointing, and drama. But step back and remember why you guys formed the band in the first place. It's number one, to have fun, to play music that you love, and to share your passion for music with other people. It's not always a straight line, right? There will be roadblocks and detours here and there. And it's during the stressful times where you will realize the resiliency of your bandmates, right? If despite the quarrels and the bickerings, you guys can still find common ground, then it's worth it. It's still worth a shot, right? It becomes very difficult if you can't find common ground anymore. And I'm fortunate with the guys that I play with. You know, we share common things outside of music. So we're all Lakers fans. We're all excited about the. We saw that there's a live action Voltes 5 TV series coming up on GMA, so we're all excited about that. We love animation. And you know, we just check in on each other every now and then. So that's what family is, right? So just try to find time to understand their perspective, bring in yours, and then just have that healthy discussion. You know, you'll be fine.
Michael Abad, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much. Thank you for coming to the podcast. We'll have you back. Definitely. The more the merrier.
Yes.
As soon as always.
Fun. Yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. If you haven't subscribed to the channel, please subscribe to the channel. Also, please hit that follow button on your streaming mediums so that tuloy-tuloy lang. Again, my name is Paco Arespacochaga, live at Paco's Place. This is the Paco Arespacochaga podcast.